Welcome back, everybody. Today we are watching Europe's largest brain drain and lost startups. I am living in Berlin, and there's a lot of people going abroad, especially the United States, to look for money for investments, because the reality is here in Germany and other places in Europe, the startup scene sucks. There's too much regulation, there's too many laws, and it's too difficult as a startup to do anything. It's a pain in the ass. So I can tell you already. That's why Europe loses so much brain. But let's see what else interesting is going on here, and if something is be done to work against that. Romulus.
In 2021, the payment processing company Stripe became the most valuable US startup. Stripe was founded by Patrick and John Collison, Irish Europeans who had a valuable idea but had to come to the United States to make it come to life.
Told you so.
The software company UiPath also became regarded as one of America's fastest growing companies.
But I didn't know that Stripe was actually European. That's very sad.
UiPath was founded by Daniel Dinez and Marius Turca, two Romanian Europeans who founded their company in Bucharest but are now headquartered in the US. Again, and also in
Never
the same
heard of
year,
this app.
Databricks also became regarded as one of America's fastest growing companies. Although
Really?
founded by multiple people, Databricks was co-founded by Ali Ghodsi, a Swede, and Ion Soica, a Romanian. Stripe, UiPath, and Databricks are three examples of extremely valuable companies that reflect an overall trend. Many driven Europeans who are creating very valuable companies are doing it in the United States. In fact, I would go as far to say that these examples reflect a larger problem, that Europe loses valuable innovation to the United States, and Europe experiences one of the largest brain drains on the planet.
It's true. Very true. Sad.
Venture capital allows investors to help support businesses that are expected to have future growth but aren't large enough to generate it on their own. Although Europe experiences problems with developing enough startup companies to begin with, which is a topic for a later video, it's the later stage funding where Europe primarily experiences a weakening connection with its founding companies. Late stage funding for startups is overwhelmingly provided by the United States and foreign financiers. This not only shifts responsibility to investors outside of Europe, but it also produces a dynamic where many European startups will leave Europe in order to go to the US before receiving later stage funding. When European startups exit, it's almost a 50-50 chance where they'll end up. From 2012 to 2016, the Startup Europe Partnership found that around 44% of European startups were acquired by US companies. And this means that in the same time period, US companies practically acquired as many European startups as European companies did. An acquisition by a US company means that the original startup's main shares are bought up, and it is now part of a company that is skewed towards maximizing the value of American shareholders.
Oh my god. That also means quality sucks. Just increase the revenue. That's the goal for the Americans.
Immigrants born in Europe are over 5 times more likely to have created an innovation in America compared to the average native-born US citizen.
What?
Although it has been changing, Europe has lost many gifted scientists to the US in the past, and there are many graduate students.
Just
who
think about the
complete their
war, how
studies
many
outside
scientists
of Europe
fled.
in the US, and many of them do not come back.
Yeah, in university I have also experienced this, that a lot of professors went to the States to do their research there because it was much easier to gather funds there. In Europe there's so much bureaucracy going on that the professors actually spend more time just filling out paperwork than actually doing the research, which is like, it's the most stupid thing you can do, because researchers are the most valuable thing you have in a country. Science, guys, science.
On June 4th, 2021, Patrick Collison tweeted, "The good news is that EU tech is really starting to bloom." It's only a few characters, but he's completely right. On the 9th of April, the European Commission opened up the European Innovation Council Accelerator which is tasked with providing investment and funding for startups. By June of this year, around 2,000 companies had applied for funding, which amounted to more than 4 times the 1.1 billion euros the fund could initially give.
That's
This
interesting.
could be seen.
The other question is, do in the US people get their funds from state funds? Probably not, just private funds, right?
As both a good and a bad thing. There's clearly a demand for funding European-based startups, but it's not clear if there will be an increase in the accelerator's budget to match that demand for boosting innovation on European soil. There are, however, other positive indications. Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, pledged $1.2 billion of his personal fortune to fund deep tech startups from Europe.
Good job.
Business-to-business startups, companies like Deliveroo, have been outperforming their American counterparts, and venture capital in Europe has been increasing every year alongside late-stage funding, and European companies are staying private and independent longer than ever before. Whether Europe will eventually become the most innovative region on the planet and keep very ambitious Europeans on home soil is a question that a few college students with a small YouTube channel cannot tell you. However, we can tell you with absolute
What?
certainty that it would be a
They're YouTube students?
lie to say that Europe lacks the potential.
Guys, yeah, it's so true, but I don't think Europe will become what they say here or wish, because Europe in general is very conservative. Look at our buildings. They're all 1,000 years old, and we love them, and we don't want to change them. We like to conserve what we have, and we don't want to lose what we have, even when we do. And the mindset of the European investor will not change as well. I mean, the majority of their mindset will not change, since they try to avoid risk. They don't like to take risk, because all the people who like to take risk went to Americas during the 1800s and before. So these genes were sorted out and they moved away. So very few risk takers are living here still in Europe. That's my take on that. But it's very sad to see. The European funds, state funds, are a good thing that they exist, but it's just a hot drop on the stone, as we like to say. They're not gonna make Europe innovative driver in the world that it could be. And it could be, because we are so many people here with different cultures and different viewpoints. But maybe that's also the problem, because we don't speak the same language. Even if you go to other countries, Spain, France, etc., very low percentage of people actually speak English, which makes all of this more complicated. And with that said, see you guys in the next video.